Hey guys, my name is Upali Krishnamachari. Welcome to the Future of Investing, a presentation about AI in modern finance and portfolio management. I want to point out that there is the QR code there that if you guys scan, you can see it on your phone and easily access the same on a web link. Thanks a lot for the India Club, and thanks to you all for coming today on this rainy day. Many of you know my mom, Kalyani. My business partner, Chris, is here too in the audience, and my dear sister, Buma, is here too. And so I want to say that AI is really becoming an important part of all different fields, and you can really say that AI is any kind of training to do a human task, and we can see that in finance as well as many other fields, as I'll get into. It's becoming a really integral part of decision making, and so that's kind of what I wanted to take you through today. So first I'll focus on what is AI, because I think we should develop a good definition of what is it exactly, and I think a lot of people have been exposed to it in different ways. So I want to actually flesh it out, and what does it mean for your portfolio? How does AI impact your portfolio? And how to gain exposure to this kind of way of investing. Look at a little bit of whether is it safe, what are some of the mishaps that we've seen because of algorithmic trading, and finally our last word. So what is artificial intelligence? Like I said, it's the use of computer systems, algorithms, computational power to kind of solve human tasks. There are some different types of AI that I've listed here, and they're kind of going from less general to more general. Weak AI or narrow AI is kind of simple tasks automated to be superior to humans. Like Siri or Alexa telling you the weather and other kind of simple routines like that. That is some example of narrow AI. When you get to more generalized tasks, then we are kind of trying to mimic what is a human doing, but also apply a lot of kind of ingenuity and learning along the way. So it's intended to replicate complex human thinking. Robotic surgery is one such example where people are able to call routines to maybe excise a tumor. It's not my field, so I don't know, but I think they're really using it a lot, robotic microsurgery these days. And finally, super AI. I just wanted to mention that this is strictly theoretical, like we have not realized anything like this, but this is something that would really learn to make judgments and possess cognitive abilities that are beyond the human comprehension, I guess. So examples of modern AI, computer vision is one of them, like where you use your facial recognition to unlock your phone. Classifying images, tagging things inside images, like for example, a person or a chair or an object, detecting the edges of an object, like self-driving cars and things like that are part of computer vision. Robotics, like teaching just a robot to shake your hand requires a lot of stabilizational kind of control systems, and we see this though kind of coming to fruition in the medical fields, in agricultural crop picking and things like that. So we see there are a lot of things in robotics that are using machine learning and AI. Natural language processing is another example of kind of simple chatbots and text data analysis, tagging the parts of speech and doing kind of large-scale data analysis and text data analysis. Generative AI is maybe something that some of you guys have run into. Have you guys used ChatGPT at all? Anybody? Can you raise your hands if you have? So maybe like 30% of the room has had experience with that. And what it is text generation. So it's some response text in response to what you give it. And also there are kind of generational images and videos based on prompts. Finally, playing games, like AI is now able to beat the best players of Go and chess. In fact, the old ancient game Go, I guess it's a Chinese game, the player was remarked to have gone into tears, playing this AI, which was making sacrificial moves and all kinds of very trickery that only a human could do, let's say, and he was really brought to tears, this great Korean Go player. And now using reinforcement learning techniques in AI, really, these games are now winnable by the machines. Finally, making predictions. Many fields use predictive analytics, including finance, and that's what I'm going to get into more as we talk about how does AI pertain to finance and your portfolio. So your portfolio, each of you in the audience is an investor, and you have your portfolio of money. And what's shown in the picture is just different asset exposures, like to real estate, to the stock market, kind of indices and equities, US companies. You can hold in cash, and you can buy gold and commodities. In the end, the asset universe is kind of the exposure to the global economy. And I want to quickly state that what we're always looking to do is earn the most amount of reward given an amount of risk. And that's kind of what we'll always focus on when picking a portfolio. But it's just to say that you have a whole universe of things to pick from when it comes to your portfolio. Now, how does AI impact this? Recently, I won't even say recently, for the past 50 years, let's say, finance has really been intertwined with machine learning and AI, and it's just really much better at digesting and understanding complex relationships and a huge amount of data. There's a lot of different kinds of data you can imagine that comes out of something like the global economy. So like my friend Chris, like he said, one thing is that they're taking pictures of Walmart parking lot and seeing how full is the Walmart parking lot from a satellite image. And how to turn that into something you can use for a prediction, well, that is, kind of in the works of AI, right? So you would need to take the picture and then have a way of counting the number of cars and then make that into a daily time series. That's just one example of the kind of data that one can find a pattern in. And if really the number of cars in the parking lot is somehow telling you how to buy the stock at Walmart, then that's a very useful data source, right? So that is something that, the investor can use. Using AI, they can kind of do this pattern recognition and then prediction and forecasting to try to fuel the portfolio's gain. But really, we're talking about this stuff in a fairly high level, but it's really optimization and mathematics. It's a lot of running a simulation of the past and how the computer is taught to trade using past examples, and then is learning to apply those lessons to an unseen future. And so really that's the basic idea I'm talking about when I talk about AI and portfolio management, is to teach the computer to trade by learning from the past. So AI models can really help in this decision making, picking stocks, and you can use specific objectives in mind, kind of tuned to the investor, like risk versus reward and other kind of metrics to learn the future price movements. It's a very tricky endeavor. I can say Chris and I work day and night at kind of this same problem, but it is a very, there's kind of an infinite number of factors that can be included in any such model, and the idea that one can learn the wrong thing, that the future may not be indicative of the past, is a constant lesson for us. And so really, AI is what's really helping us navigate these waters, especially finding the patterns in the historical data and ignoring a lot of data that may make the decision a lot worse for a mathematical model. The other thing I want to note is that with AI, we can combine a lot of different ways of trading, a lot of different strategies. And it's almost like if you were to have 30 different registered investment advisors that each pick their own way of picking stocks. With one computer and a smart investor, we can achieve the intuition of those many people, especially if we chose different ways to model and ways to decorrelate the individual algorithms. You can kind of combine a lot of algorithms into one and end up getting a much better result that is kind of encompassing the intuition of many people.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Are you planning to take questions during presentation, or you want to wait?
Maybe right after, is it okay?
I hope I remember.
Okay, remember. I'll go through these quick, okay? So many hedge funds such as ours use AI in their decision making, and there's other ways to get exposure to AI. We are somebody who works on it every day. There are other smart ETFs that do offer AI EQ. The Amplify AI powered ETF is one such example of something that claims to use machine learning in its decision making. Some robo-advisors like Betterment and Wealthfront that you guys may have heard of, those also offer AI-based portfolio solutions. So gaining exposure to AI, there's a couple of questions that I really think one has to ask. And this is really general to almost any strategy. It need not be an AI strategy, but the questions I want to accentuate are, what are the strategy's returns? You really got to see how that thing is earning. What is the risk associated with the AI strategy? This is generally kind of equated with volatility, like the movement up and down of the stock, but that is some measure of risk, but one needs to know what is that risk of a loss, in a given strategy. How long has the AI strategy been running? How often does it replace its holdings, meaning how often is it rotating or trading? We use the word rebalance for this. And what are the associated fees? What is the expense ratio of the AI strategy? If you invest in an AI-based strategy, make sure you get answers to these questions. Oh, sorry, it's kind of stuck.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So if it is so great, why doesn't everyone do it? It's very accessible, the information I'm talking about, and has been kind of invented for a long time. Well, it is a really good question, but the devil is in the details. Like, I can tell you that every day we kind of seek to achieve the best returns in the future, but it's not exactly the right way because we're using the past to teach a future which may not be the same as the past. And that's always the trick of future prediction, right? Otherwise, everyone would do it, and it's really something that must be carried out very carefully. Is investing with AI safe? There's a couple of examples here of just money burned, because of kind of more computer error, but something that just triggered kind of a misprogramming, and you can say they're human errors, but they're amplified by the fact that a computer made the decision, so many times, like Chris was telling me in Night Capital, somebody just programmed something that should be true, they put false, and called some variable the same name as what they had called it a long time ago, and it excited some dormant code. And in 45 minutes, it just traded away $460 million lost to Night Capital, and kind of dethroned them as a very big player in the market. And the flash crash of May 6, 2010, again, it was like something that was algorithmic in nature that kind of triggered a lot of people to sell at the same time. And, those risks notwithstanding, like there are quite a few companies in Wall Street that have now embraced AI. A lot of people are seeking patents for predictive AI. Whether or not those patents are justified or whether they're just recycled old knowledge, I don't really know. But, a lot of these guys are using large language models to parse like Federal Reserve and earnings statements and things that have a lot of text, and they will kind of distill those into data sources. And like ING, this AI screening for potential defaulters, that's been going on for a long time, and I think that field of kind of assessing a loan and its quality, like that goes back to the very start of machine learning. So it is very pervasive in the field of finance. So my last word, and then I'll take questions that you guys have, is like it or not, the world is really becoming more AI-based, more automated. Particularly in trading, algorithms are taking over. A lot of the short-term order flow in a day, like 60%, is driven by algorithms. As investors, I think it's important we become knowledgeable about this, and it's up to us to gain exposure to it in our investments. So that is my last word, and thanks a lot, and I really hope I try to keep it low level and high level at the same time, but I hope I can answer your questions now.